I mean, they're a really good team. Obviously, they haven't lost yet, so that shows you what kind of skill and talent they have. They're big, they're strong, they're athletic, so it should be a great game.
And Foster Obagno was not necessarily the best last night. How would you like to incorporate him a bit more into tonight and be effective, as he seems like the perfect player to try go up against a guy like Nick Polanowski?
Yeah, Foster, obviously, we always put him on the other team's one of their best players, so as long as he's playing defense, anything else he gives us is just a bonus.
And you guys offensively last night were able to really go off in the second half. How do you think defensively you guys can adapt and not let those runs go off that Bolingbrook started to go on to last night and just keep Lyons suppressed the entire evening?
Yeah, I mean, like Bolingbrook, Lyons does a really nice job in transition, so we're going to obviously have to get back, limit some dribble penetration, and then, try not to give them any easy looks.
All right, well, thank you and good luck tonight. Have a good time. And I've been Joshua Melvin. Stay right here. In 8 minutes, we will have the championship of your 48th annual Jack Tosh Holiday Classic between the Lyons Township Lions and Rolling Meadow Mustangs. Stay right here.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to York Sports Network. We're here for the grand finale, the Jack Tosh Holiday Classic Championship between Lyons Township and Rolling Meadows. Joshua Melvin to my right. I am Gavin Connolly. We should have a very good one on our hands, Josh. What can you tell me about these two teams? How did they get here, and what do they do best?
Well, both teams are extremely amazing, ranked in the top 20 of Michael Bryan's Super 25. Lyons Township, a little disrespected in my opinion at number 16, but that's because their out-of-conference schedule leading up to the tournament was not necessarily stellar, playing one team ranked inside the top 25, that being at home versus Lincoln Way East, who's 10-1 at the time prior to the Tosh. Now, this Lyons team is very good. Not a lot of people expect them to go as far. As we've said, they were undefeated, but they were only given the 3rd seed behind Rolling Meadows and the team that just lost the 3rd placed game in St. Ignatius. But they are a great team with a lot of depth at wing is going to be their skill set, with Nick Polanowski as well as Carter Reed, Matthew DeSimone, as well as that's going to be Brady Chambers and Graham Smith, all great 6'4" to 6'5" wings. While on the other hand, for Rolling Meadows, they've really rolled pretty much everybody coming into this one. And Cam Christie's been Cam Christie, as he leads the tournament in not only 2-point field goal, or he leads the tournament in 3-pointers made, 3-pointers attempted, as well as points per game, being one of the leading scorers. And both these teams fill out the team records so far for this tournament. And Rolling Meadows leads the way with the most points per game. And then Lyons Township leads the way in most points allowed per game. So it's going to be an offense, extremely great offense versus an extremely great defensive teams. So we're going to see who comes out on top. The best defense in the Tosh or the best offense in the Tosh?
Definitely, and just as you said, Cam Christie's the big man on Rolling Meadows. We're going to take a quick break for the national anthem.
Tonight's officials for the Tosh Holiday Classic Championship game are Greg Von Bozer, Devion Stiff, and Dylan Kramer. It is a special honor to work the championship game tonight. It's a challenging time to be an official in high school athletics. The York High School Athletic Department greatly appreciates the men and women that serve. Championship game tonight, all 3 officials will receive a gift card at Gibson's Restaurant as a token of appreciation for their service to the Tosh Holiday Classic. Please take some time and enjoy a meal with your families and celebrate the new year. Again, thank you for being part of the Jack Tosh Holiday Classic. I would like you all to please rise and face the flag for the playing of our national anthem.
Live from York High School at the Dick Campbell Gymnasium here. Starters being announced for Lyons. It's going to be their same 5. That's number 5, Jackson Diego. Matthew DeSimone, Connor Carroll, Graham Smith, and Nick Polanowski. Connor Carroll, a bit of a role player on this Lions team, but he exploded yesterday, going for 17 points and hit 3 threes. There's a few players on this Lions team and this Mustangs team that don't really get the hype that they deserve. Taking a look at Lions, they lead this tournament in rebounds per game. But as you'll see in a moment, this Mustang starting lineup has quite a bit, led by number 30, Mark Nikolic Wilson, and number 35, Svet Satorov. They're going to be a handful down low as well.
Definitely, both Satirov and Nikolic Wilson add to what Milicic brings as a passer, and this whole team's just really, really underrated as passers. You wouldn't really say passing is the #1 skill set of any of the starting 5 for Rolling Meadows, yet they lead the Tosh in assists per game. So quite a great starting lineup with amazing chemistry here, and they really work well together. And that starting 5 is going to be Ian Milicic, number 10, number 20, number 14, Foster Ogbonna, number 24, Cam Christie, number 30, Mark Nikolic Wilson, and number 35, Svet Satirov.
A lot of height in both of these lineups. They've basically dominated every game up to this point. Tip-off just a moment away. It's going to be Cam Christie versus Graham Smith. Tip is up, and we are underway. Mustangs controlling possession. Mark Nikolic Wilson dribbling it at the top of the key. Milicic now, guarded by Polanowski. Nikolic Wilson, a very fluid mover despite his size. Spinning, trying to get space, steps through, and lays it in with the left hand. A lot of people look at Nikolic Wilson and only think of him as a big man, but he plays like Nikola Jokic. He is an extremely graceful center.
Definitely wonderful footwork there, and he shows it there. Got walled off by Graham Smith, one of the better defenders in the tournament, was able to still make space for himself.
Connor Carroll had the hot hand, and he's going to dish it off now to Matt DeSimone, who kicks it out to Niego, who was also cooking from the mid-range yesterday. St. Ignatius was helpless against him. On Cam Christie, they switch Satorov onto him, kicks it out, Polanowski. Dribbles inside, off the glass for 2. LT comes right back with a 2-pointer of their own.
And Polanowski, 6'6", such a fast accelerator, able to get by Foster Ogbonna. So I talked to Coach Cavendish before the game, and he said Ogbonna's defense is going to be essential. And the miscommunication there between him and Nikolic Wilson.
First turnover of the game. Lions will get it back. Niego guarded by Christie. Graham Smith finding Niego. Niego open for 3. Short. Rebound by Christie. Now he pulls up in transition and knocks it down. Cam Christie already showing off his range. He leads this tournament in 3-point field goals made and attempted. Already 1 for 1 to start tonight. Now Niego moving it around. Connor Carroll walled off by Milicic, and he's forced to kick. Now Polanowski to Niego. Pick and roll. On the drive, Polanowski can't get the friendly roll. Ogbonna, and it's cleared away by Svet Satorov. He tries his luck from deep. No good. Polanowski pulls up and missed the rim. Still a 5-2 early Rolling Meadows lead. Nikolic Wilson, he's going to try a 3. No good. He hit 2 of them in the semifinal.
Niego with it now. Niego's been so integral to Lions' success. They lost the man Tavari Johnson to Akron as he graduated last year. A great player who's actually broken into the starting lineup for Akron, and Niego's really stepped it up.
Here is Niego getting his first 2 points from the mid-range. That's where he found a lot of his success in their semifinal against St. Ignatius. Now Ogbonna on the wing. Now Christie in the mid-range. 2 more. Cam Christie had 34 last night. 5 early ones here.
As Coach Sloan said, Cam Christie's going to get his buckets no matter what, but you got to limit those easy shots and make him take difficult ones.
3 from Polanowski, no good. Polanowski's 1 for 4 to start this game. Christie on the other end, he gets fouled from beyond the arc. Connor Carroll, a bit of a lapse in concentration there. That's the issue with Christie, is he's such a deadly three-point shooter that defenders have to contest, but Carroll just a little bit too aggressive there, and Christie likely going to make him pay.
Definitely we'll see here, started off not great, or ended off not great from the free throw line, but he's got to take advantage tonight if he wants to take home the Tosh championship.
First one is no problem.
The issue with Carroll's defense there, or with Carroll guarding Cam Christie, is the fact that he has to worry about that drive too. Christie's such a great athlete and so fluid once he gets into the lane, so he can't sag off at, or can't press up into Cam Christie's face the entire time, because then Christie will make him pay going to the basket.
Many know that Cam Christie is the brother of Max Christie, former Michigan State Spartan and LA Laker. He shows off his defense right there with a block on Niego. Now dumps it up to Ian Milicic, who fires for 3 and hits nothing but net. An early timeout from Coach Sloan. Ian Milicic, one of the more underrated Mustangs, only a sophomore, but he's 6'6" and shoots the lights out.
Definitely a great player there, and that was just great play after great play as Niego got Cam Christie lost. But then Christie was able to recover around the screen, block that shot, get a nice pass up to Milicic, and Milicic draining the 3. Both these teams so great at what they do, and so far the team who's been dominant over the course of the entire season, not letting any team come within their realm, is Lyons Township, currently losing by 9.
Yeah, this is a team that prides itself on defense. Only 35 opponent points per game throughout the whole season, and only 38 opponent points per game here in this entire tournament, where the difficulty has increased dramatically, but already 13 early ones for Rolling Meadows. The best offense versus the best defense, and it seems like the offense is getting the first punches in. Now Niego bringing it up for LT. Matt DeSimone goes right, loses it. Now a travel violation. A turnover out of the timeout. Rolling Mustangs have possession again.
Yeah, the closest game for Lyons all year, a 10-point win at Glenbard West, 52-42. So they've really been dominating all of their opponents so far. Showing how good of a team they are, as their strength of schedule hasn't been up to par with a 485 strength of schedule. Cam Christie had some trouble traveling last night, getting that back foot to move a lot, and the refs have been noticing and calling it.
Polanowski down low, Niego bringing it out. Niego, pull up again, short. Good contest by Milicic. Now Cam Christie slowing the pace. Pick and roll. Nikolic Wilson, pump fakes. Gets in the lane. And has good footwork, but he's going to travel. That's the defense by Graham Smith, who's committed to Yale for football. Carter Reed enters the game as Matt DeSimone takes a seat.
Yeah, starting tight end for the Lyons Township football team. Great tight end with extreme athleticism and strength, as you saw him there, not allowing Milicic an inch.
Now Polanowski working on Ogbonna, sending the double. Now Polanowski, he gets fouled, so 2 free throws upcoming. Had an and one opportunity, but just couldn't hit.
Not only in the points department is Rolling Meadows defense performing really well, but also in the shots department, as Rolling Meadows has forced many difficult shots from this Lions team. Polanowski there was a fadeaway in the mid-range, quite a few fadeaways in the mid-range from Jackson Diego, as well as contested threes is really all that Lyons has had the opportunity to shoot. They need to get more patient to wait for that perfect shot.
2 for 2 goes Nick Polanowski. Man-to-man defense to start for LT. We saw that a lot in the second half when they played St. Ignatius, and it worked very well. Milicic now. Into Nikolic Wilson, trying to back down Smith once more. Gets walled off, now finds Ogbonna, but Nikolic Wilson traveled again.
Yeah, great defense from Smith, and that's something that Coach Tom Sloan really believes in his players, that they can just outman any opponent they go against, and that's why I trust them in a man defense.
Polanowski, down low to Smith. Smith to Carroll. Carroll pump fakes, gets in the lane, jump stop. But the interior defense of the Mustangs so far holding strong. Now Smith inside, Nikolic Wilson, fade away off the back of the rim and out. Cam Christie trying to find space. He does, but he's short. Diego in transition. Diego, oh, is tipped and secured by Christie, who goes behind his back. Now kicks on the wing, and it's out of bounds. Was tipped by the Lions.
Great job by Christie. The effort on defense is quite impressive from a player of his stature. Typically those 4 stars ranked at the top of the state don't really like to put in the effort on defense, but Christie been awesome tonight, along with Ogbonna, who's been giving Polanowski, the leading scorer for this Lions team, absolutely nothing.
Satirov with it, with the left hand. Can't finish, and out come the Lions. Polanowski in transition, he is fouled. 2 more for Nick Polanowski.
Meadows foul number 14, Foster.
Even though Lyons still trails, it definitely seems like the defense has improved as they got down early, but they've scored the last 3 and potentially 4, and they've stopped the Mustangs on their last 4 offensive trips.
Definitely a defense not too shabby. A team that's averaging 70 points per game, limited to only 13 so far with 1 minute remaining here in the first quarter, but it's just been offensively they haven't been able to get anything going.
Good defense by Polanowski, and a pushing foul on Diego. LT frustrated. They were trying to get Rolling Meadows. Thought there was the travel there. Jack Duffer's come into the game for Rolling Meadows. Christie now on Carroll. Isolation, now a 3-pointer. No good. Under a minute to play.
Good defense from Carroll, forcing those hard shots Coach Sloan talked about.
Another foul. Was it a shooting foul? Refs say no. On the floor, but still. The 3rd foul of the quarter. Into Polanowski in the corner. No good. Hasn't really found his rhythm from deep just yet. Mustangs ball. Inbound to Christie. Pick and roll with Duffer and Nikolic Wilson. Satirov, 3-pointer, no good.
Chance to bring it within one possession.
Definitely be a great end of the quarter for the Lions. Niego with the left hand off Duffer, and he banks it home. Niego spotting the mismatch and taking advantage. Final seconds here. Christie going to take the last shot, rises up, fires, no good. Satirov fighting for it, and that's how the quarter ends. The last 6 points of the quarter would go to the Lions, so a little bit of momentum ending the first here. Josh, what adjustments did they make to get themselves back in the game? What adjustments did they make to get themselves back in the game and avoid an early blitz?
Well, as we saw, Cam Christie was able to get out to a fast 8 points there and had pretty much all of the points that Lions or that Rolling Meadows scored on Lions in that first little stretch right there. But since then, Carroll's done a great job on defense to limit those tough shots and get those tough shots to Christie to be beyond from the three-point arc. And he hasn't been hitting those so far today. So that's been a great adjustment defensively by Lyons Township.
We want to quickly thank today's York Sports Network sponsors. This stream is sponsored by Elmhurst Small Businesses, Kelly Stetler of Compass Realty, Elmhurst Camera, located on Spring Road, family owned and community loved, and finally the Sutter Law Group for all your personal injury and defense litigation. YSN, thanks all our amazing sponsors. Second quarter underway, ball with the Lions to start. Smith finding an open DeSimone, who traveled with the old double jab step, and the refs. Good pickup there.
Yeah, Lyons Township yet to hit a three. Nick Pelinowski personally 0-3 on those threes, so they're going to need their leading man to be able to start scoring if they're going to want to win this championship.
Cam Christie with it. Hands in his face. He picks up his dribble. Satirov able to help him out. Now Nikolic Wilson. Christie has it down low. Finding a double. Kicks it out. Satirov. Back out Christie. Three-pointer. It's good. Cam Christie only needing an inch of space. Up to 11 now.
11 of the 16. An impressive performance so far.
Polanowski. No good from mid-range. He's struggling early. Offensive rebound by Carter Reed, and a good pump fake and step through. Number 22.
With the great move. Had two defenders on him. Nice job to get them both in the air and take advantage.
Cam Christie just right to the rack. That's what happens when you get a little bit too close to him trying to take away the three. Just blows right by you. He's so tough to guard. Now Reed working on Nikolic Wilson. Another bucket for number 22. 4 points off the bench here. He's coming up big for them here as they try and keep up with the Mustangs. Corner, Milicic, three-pointer, in and out. Satirov couldn't hang on, and Jackson Niego trying to push the pace for LT. Oh, Christie read that pass from the very beginning. Now gives it off to Duffer. Duffer with the right hand. 2 points for the Mustangs. They still hold the 6-point lead. Two-three zone for the Mustangs. They seem to be playing a little bit of a man-zone hybrid. Pass tipped again by Duffer. Ball movement was key for the Lions in their victory against St. Ignatius. They don't seem to be as sharp as they were yesterday.
I think their passing's been inconsistent so far.
Niego hits the back of the rim and out. Christie now. Satirov. Finds Nikolic Wilson. gets inside, and a foul on the floor.
We go on Graham Smith there.
Lyons Township foul number 15, Graham Smith, his first, team's third. Really Meadows basketball at Melvin.
As we can see, a low fouling game so far. Already 11 minutes played in this game, only 8 fouls.
Nikolic Wilson spinning off the glass for 2. Good move by the big man, his second field goal of the game. Reed with it. Nearly turned it over again. Now Smith. Spinning, fading. 2 points for him.
Working on that inside should help the Lions hit their threes better as they'll get more open space, as Rolling Meadows is going to have to start respecting the inside game of Lyons Township.
Cam Christie pulls up, nothing but net. Cam Christie firing all cylinders, showing how he can score on all 3 levels. Polanowski on the other end, can't connect, and Christie secures the rebound. Satirov thought about a 3, dishes it to Christie. Christie with the right hand, off the glass, and he's fouled.
Lyons Township foul number 22, Carter Reed, his first, team's fourth.
Tim Christie just so good at drawing fouls. His ability to get into defenders' faces and chests to be able to force them to make the move to either give up or foul them. A lot of time they choose to foul.
No good on the first free throw. Lyons Township very familiar with this championship game. They made it all the way to the finals last year before they were defeated by Glenbard West. So revenge likely on their mind here, but they still trail here in the second quarter. Niego, he gets fouled. Jack Duffer just a little bit late on that rotation. .353 before halftime. DeSimone. Now Carroll with it. And a tipped pass. LT recovers it. Carroll trying to find space, gets in the lane. Floater, no good. Niego has it. Niego dishing, pass was too hot, but DeSimone able to recover. Now Niego, an open 3. No good. Tipped in by Carter Reed. 6 points off the bench. LT struggling shooting from outside, but they're hanging their hat on rebounding is on the other end. Oh, Nikolic Wilson couldn't finish, but he gets it back. Stepping through, and he makes up for it. Off the glass, and 2 points for Mark Nikolic Wilson off the putback. DeSimone, and they're going to say he traveled. DeSimone disagrees with the call, but nonetheless it'll be Mustang basketball. 2:40 to go in this first half.
That's his second travel there. Seemingly must be confused about the rule of what they're going to do for traveling whenever you move both feet at the same time.
Christie, contested 3 off the rim. Carroll. Mustangs picking up their full court pressure, keeping their foot on the gas. Lions break it with ease. Now Niego. Carroll still looking for his first points. Polanowski, turnaround jumper, way off that time. But it was Graham Smith on the follow-up. We mentioned that the Lions were a really good rebounding team, really taking advantage of these second chance points. Christie, offensive foul. Lions starting to pick up the noise here. Only down 7 as we hit under 2 minutes to play in the first half.
Yeah, Lions just need to start hitting any shot from anywhere on the court that's not right under the basket, as they've just, the rim has not been their friend. No friendly rolls for Lyons Township.
Reed thought about it, but he kicks to Carroll. Now Polanowski getting inside, missing again. Polanowski frustrated with himself. Bit of a scramble there. Graham Smith almost forced the turnover here in the backcourt, but it'll stay Rolling Meadows basketball. Satirov to inbound. Carroll on Cam Christie. Sending the double. He dishes it away easily. Now Nikolic Wilson with it in the post. Finds Satirov. Satirov down low. Oh, what a block by Carter Reed. Carter Reed stepping up in this championship game. Now the Lions looking to push. Carroll in the corner. Pull up. Swings it to Polanowski, who finds Niego. Niego along the baseline. Pass down low. Smith, pull up. No good. Reed another offensive board. And a foul on the ground on Ian Miletic. He hits the deck hard. One more foul and the Lions will be in the bonus.
That'll come into a factor as the majority of their points, not the majority, but a lot of their points have come from free throw attempts. They're going to call a moving screen here on Smith. But Reed with the great defensive play over there, that's why he got a lot of time last year coming off the bench. Great defender, especially on the interior. But this year he's really increased his offensive game, as you saw him pump fake a 3, and they had to respect that 3 pump fake because he's shooting it pretty well from out there.
Under a minute to go here in the first half of this championship game. Nikolic Wilson looking to pass over the defense, finding Duffer, but Duffer can't hit. A scramble for it. Thought it might be a foul, but I think they're going to say jump ball. That's what they rule. Good effort there by number 5, Jacob Repack. Six-foot senior coming off the bench. Cam Christie now to inbound under the Mustangs' own rim. Satirov. Christie now facing the double team. Final 20 seconds. Mustangs likely going to try and hold it for the final possession. Christie gets a screen. A lot of defenders closing out on him. He's able to kick to Nikolic Wilson. Nikolic Wilson right to the rack, evading pressure and scoring as the clock runs out. Polanowski, final seconds. Niego, mid-range, no good. And we are brought to a half. Lions with their lowest scoring first half of this tournament. They trail the Mustangs 29-20. Josh, what has been the Lions' biggest struggle here in this first half?
I mean, it's pretty clear. It's just been shooting. They haven't been able to shoot the ball at all. Only been layups that they've made or free throws. They've just got to convert on those open shots. They started to get open shots in that second quarter, unlike the first quarter where they did not get any open shots, and that suffocating Rolling Meadows defense was extremely effective. But in the second quarter, they did get those shots, and they weren't able to convert. They got to do that if they're going to mount this 9-point comeback as of right now to top the Jack Tosh Holiday Classic.
We will take a quick break, not before thanking our sponsors. York Sports Network is sponsored by our Elmhurst small businesses, Kelly Stetler of Compass Realty, Elmhurst Camera, located on Spring Road, family owned and community loved. And finally, the Sutter Law Group for all your personal injury and defense litigation. Thank you, sponsors. And we will take a quick halftime break. Rolling Meadows leading by 9 going into the half. Back to the action now. Rolling Meadows leading the 48th annual Jack Tosh Holiday Classic Championship, 29-20. Josh, what are some of the biggest first half storylines in this championship game?
Well, it's really only been one, and that is shooting. Lyons Township currently 8 for 18, good for a percentage of 45% on 2-point attempts, and an absolutely putrid 0 for 7 from 3-point land, giving them a total 8 for 25 for 32%, whereas pretty good shooting split so far for Rolling Meadows. Everything else pretty even. Turnovers 6-5, rebounds 12-12. The main thing has also been defensive rebounds offensive rebounds for Lyons Township, blowing out of the water the offensive rebounds of Rolling Meadows. So they haven't gotten those second chance points yet.
Start of the second half, it's a three-pointer from Polanowski, and the woeful shooting continues way off there. We've seen Polanowski miss, but missing badly on a few occasions. He just really has not gotten going here. Now 1 for 10 from the field.
Yeah, he's been the leader for this entire tournament and for the entire season for Lyons Township, but just absolutely nothing today.
Christie, 2 more for him. In the first half, Christie and Nikolic Wilson combined for 9 of the team's 11 field goals, so they were really crucial to this lead. And one here for Polanowski. Maybe that'll spark him. As Lyons, known for pushing the pace, just a few quick passes, and they found Polanowski open under the basket.
Definitely, that's something I would suggest to Lyons Township, is to continue to push the pace. They've done that throughout the course of the entire season. It's worked really well, clearly, as they are 11-0 on the season. And the half-court defense for Rolling Meadows has been amazing, headed by Foster Obagna, and surprisingly to most, Cam Christie, an absolutely wonderful defender, and he's showing it off today.
Nearly a turnover there by the Mustangs. Svet Satirov sends it into the middle. Nikolic Wilson. Now it's Milicic. Milicic dribbling around. Ogbonna with it, and then Wilson. Wilson dribbles out. Christie inside, down low. Oh, Nikolic Wilson could not hang on. That was good ball movement there by Rolling Meadows. Coach Katovich had to be pleased with that, but nonetheless, they come up empty-handed and the ball is back to the Lions.
Yeah, good ball movement there, as you said, and a nice find from Satirov, showing off once again how good of a passing team this Mustangs team is.
Graham Smith down low on Satirov, kicks it out, another 3. Still, the well runs dry for LT. Christie the other way, pick and roll, 3-pointer, no good. Offensive rebound, Milicic. Now it's Christie in the corner. Christie now brings it up, working on the logo, resetting the offense. Finds Nikolic Wilson. Dribble, spin, step through, and they're going to say he traveled first. It looked like only 2 steps, but the ref, they've really been calling these travels tight. Turnover gives it back to Lyons Township.
Looks like he set that foot that he used as his pivot foot on that clean spin move down before he shot it, which would be a travel, but it was definitely a close call, and once again, beautiful footwork from Nikolic Wilson.
Diego also had his first half struggles, misses badly there. Now a double screen here. Christie trying to get open, it's Ogbonna. Christie kicks to Wilson. Wilson, no hesitation, and it's good. Mark Nikolic Wilson really has found his range here these past couple of games. A huge 3-pointer there. Now the Mustangs lead by double digits.
Definitely only shot 1 3 over the course of the first 3 games of the tournament, but 3 for 4 in these last 2 games.
Nearly a steal by Cam Christie. You mentioned this earlier, Josh, a very underrated defender to go along with his scoring.
Which really goes into why scouts love him so much, as a lot of people can score. Obviously, he's in a tier of his own scoring-wise, but a lot of players can score, shown by the fact that Connor May led the tournament in scoring for the first 3 days, but Cam Christie just so athletic defensively and so smart.
Nick Polanowski couldn't hit on the other end. Christie back to Nikolic Wilson, barreling through the lane, and a blocking foul called.
Lyons Township foul 22, Carter Reed, his second, team second. Rolling Meadows basketball out of bounds.
Christie to inbound. Satirov, corner 3. Off the mark, still looking for his first points. Now Polanowski down low to the rack.
Nice finish through contact, nearly threw it down. Just was on the down arc of his jump, but what a play by him, able to attack the rim there.
Still has 11 points despite his poor shooting. Maybe he just needed to see one go in. As Reed with the steal. Ogbonna tried an entry pass to Nikolic Wilson. Now Niego. A kickball violation called against the Mustangs.
And as you all can see at home, we do apologize for the technical difficulties in the first half. We hope they do not continue here in the second half. We have our team working on it, but as of right now, not fully solved, and we do apologize.
Ball was deflected there as on the Polanowski drive. Last touch was by Ian Milicic. So Lions retain possession in the corner. Niego with it. Screen and roll. Niego kicks. Polanowski gets the screen. Ogbonna with the good defense, but a bad pass there. A little bit of a miscommunication between Carroll and Polanowski. He's going to take a breather, but still an LT turnover. Gives possession back with the Mustangs. Ogbonna. Christie gets a screen. Finds Satirov. He tries his luck from deep and hits. First 3 of the game for Svet Satirov. He is also a lethal shooter who had his best game in the quarterfinal.
I think he hit 8 threes in that one. Lethal shooter from deep.
Turnover on the other end for LT. 3:03 remaining in the third quarter. Christie to the rack. Foul on the ground.
Lyons Township foul number 15, Graham Smith, his fourth, team's third. Back in the game for Lyons Township, 35, Nick.
They inbound it to Nikolic Wilson. Both teams running with very small lineups as Christie fires for 3 and hits again. Cam Christie just rising up over everybody. Now at 21 points. Niego now. Kicks. Carroll pump fakes to DeSimone. The Mustangs just taking away the 3-ball for LT. Lead up to 15. Polanowski on the drive. Blocked by Nikolic Wilson. Good help defense. Now Niego tries for 3. No good, and a foul going down on LT. That was on Carter Reed.
Lyons Township foul number 22, Carter Reed, his third.
And that's his third. So nearing the 5 foul limit, and he's honestly been one of the more productive Lions scorers in this game.
Yeah, with 6, the 2 starters of Carroll and DeSimone both with nothing yet so far. So off the bench, a good performance from Reed so far.
Nikolic Wilson. Passes to Milicic. Milicic with the left hand, brings it out to Christie. Christie with the left hand on the drive, taking a charge. That was Matt DeSimone, and it worked out. Christie just a little bit out of control there. DeSimone to Niego, another 3, still no good. Lions now 0 for whatever from 3.
I think it's 0 for 10 right now.
Christie, another 3, no good. Milicic the offensive rebound. He's been big on the boards. Satirov trying a 3 off the backboard and no good. Lions in transition. Connor Carroll spinning, gets in the lane. No good, or it fell, but I believe they're going to call basket interference. The refs quickly blowing their whistles. 53.8 on the clock. Lions only 5 points in this quarter after a 20-point first half. Nikolic Wilson helping out Satirov. Now Christie. Milicic just dribbling out the clock. Final 20. Christie now. Lions back in their 2-3 zone. Here comes a double sent by Niego in the corner. Milicic from deep. It's good. Only a 2-pointer. Final 5 seconds. Niego in the lane. Finger roll. No good. Ogbonna challenge. And that's the end of the quarter. Another one dominated by the Mustangs. Coach Katovich very pleased. And now the lead is 17. Josh, how did Rolling Meadows outduel the Lions in that quarter?
That time it was with, once again, just man defense. I mean, we keep talking about the same thing, but so far Lyons Township hasn't adjusted since that first quarter where they put up 4 points, where they came back, but for the first part of that first quarter where they put up 4 points, still struggling to shoot, and now it's back to struggling to find open shots again, taking a few contested mid-ranges there, and now their defense is getting broken down as Christie starting to get easy shots, Nikolic Wilson trying to get on the inside, as we saw there, Milicic with a couple of good shots, and Satirov starting to get hot, and you don't want to see that. So Lyons Township staring down the barrel of another championship loss, but they just got to turn it around shooting-wise. They hit a few threes. As you said, you see one go in, makes it easier for many more to. So I think as soon as they hit that first 3, they can make a little run here, but time is now going to be a major factor in this one. And we'll see them push the pace more, and we'll see Rolling Meadows try and slow it down a lot more as well.
Yeah, and credit to Rolling Meadows for just taking away the three-pointer entirely for the Lions in that quarter. And on the other end, they were really flexing their depth as the Lions tried doubling Christie, but he was able to just pass over the defense and allow the other playmakers in this starting 5 to hit shots. Near turnover there as an errant pass from Christie ends up in the hands of Satirov, who dishes it to Milicic, who knocks down another 3. You know, that's what happens. It's pick your poison right now. Ian Milicic being left open the past 2 possessions, and he swished it both times. Deflection by Ogbonna. Now Graham Smith down low, trying to work Milicic out of the way. Down low, it's Carter Reed, able to get good position on Cam Christie, and he puts it home for 2.
Yeah, so far, even Lyons not even shooting good from inside the three-point arc. 10 for 26, good for 39%, and 0 for 11 from 3. That's going to be the story of the game if Lyons Township is not going to come away with the Jack Tosh championship. But they can turn it around here with the final 7 minutes.
Christie gets the screen. Coach Sloan yelling at his defense. Christie left open and makes them pay. Coach Katovich pumping his fist as number 24. Meanwhile, on the other end, it was Nick Polanowski driving right to the rim. But number 24 has been the player of the game thus far, hitting his latest of three-pointers. But credit to the Lions for getting out and running with it, beating the Mustangs down the floor. Now a chance to match Christie's three-pointer with an and one. He cannot, however, as Polanowski missed it, but Carter Reed on the follow-up. So I guess a 4-point possession is the result for the Lions.
We'd like to take a sec to thank our sponsors. And it's going to be the Elmhurst Small Businesses of Kelly Stetzler of Compass Reality, Elmhurst Photo, located on Spring Road, family owned and community loved. And finally, Sutter Law Group for all your personal injury and defense litigation needs. Thank you so much to all our wonderful sponsors. Once again, if you want to sponsor York Sports Network streams in the future, reach out to Brendan Chambers. Only know his school email, bchambers@elmhurst205.org. And we want to thank those 3 companies especially, as they took a risk on sponsoring our YouTube, and we hope that it paid off for them, and we hope to get more Elmhurst small businesses to help us out in the future, and we really appreciate every one of you as we head into the final 6:30, 17-point deficit. Lyons Township really going to need to turn it around offensively, start hitting shots. I mean, I sound like a broken record at this point, but that's really the main thing, holding a team that's averaging so far 70 points per game against teams that with great defenses like St. Patrick, Bolingbrook, as well as Glenbrook South, and still scoring 70 points per game, yet they're here at 48 with roughly 6.5 minutes remaining. Good defense from Lyons. They just can't convert offensively.
It really has been their downfall. It's now or never for them. A good start as they force another turnover, and Polanowski running the break, and it was poked free, so it'll stay here with the Lions. .609 in the quarter. Polanowski in the corner, no good. Scramble for the rebound, and it was touched by the Mustangs, so another opportunity here for LT. A pretty good student section here for the Lions. LaGrange not that far. Ripped away by Nikolic Wilson on the inbounds pass. And now he has the confidence to dribble it and just dump it off to Cam Christie. He's been a really valuable player for this Mustang starting lineup. Here he is now, dishing to Satirov for 3. In and out. Fighting for the offensive board, but it's cleared away by Graham Smith. Now Niego gets in the lane, corner, three-pointer, Connor Carroll, short. Rebound by Niego. Carroll again, dribbles it right into Cam Christie, and he loses it. But there was a bit of a scramble along the baseline, so we'll stay here. Dangerous pass, hauled in by Graham Smith. Now it's Niego Euro-stepping, and still can't find the bottom of the bucket. LT cannot buy points right now. Ogbonna in the corner. That's a good three-pointer.
As Coach Katovich said,
Three-pointer for Carroll. He was wide open, but just still no good. As there, finally, Nick Polanowski breaks the dam as LT hits their first three-point field goal of the evening to cut the lead to 17.
As Kadovich said, Ogbonna been amazing on defense, attempting his first shot there, and his first shot was a make. A nice pass by him.
Satirov on the other end, rolled out. Niego firing from deep, way off that time. The Lions just in disbelief right now, missing very badly. Nikolic Wilson was looking for Miletic in the corner. Now he finds him. Miletic on the drive, goes up, off the glass, and the foul.
Miletic coming up big as the second man here in the second half. Nikolic Wilson was that guy in the first half with 11 points. Now in the second half, it's been Miletic who hit a couple of big threes. Now gets the big and one.
Trying to convert on the three-point play, and he can. Now a 20-point lead for the Mustangs as we approach 4 minutes. DeSimone pump fakes, gets inside to Reed. Pass was tipped, but LT retaining possession. Polanowski getting in the lane, trying to finish, no good. Reed on the follow-up, also no good. Ball down with the Mustangs.
A lot of people going to be surprised by the way this game has gone. Pretty even split on people who I talked to about who they thought was going to win between Lyons Township and Rolling Meadows. Both Gavin and I thought Lyons Township was going to come away with this one, but a lot of the YSN staff also thought Rolling Meadows, but everyone could have agreed it would have been a great close game. So far, close is not the way I would describe this one.
No, and it really boils down to LT has just not shot this poorly all year, maybe even in a few years.
Yeah, throughout the course of the tournament, they've been quite good, shooting nearly 60% on 2-point field goals and 44% on 3-point field goals, and total field goals 54%. That equates to a great true shooting percentage. Currently do not have the equation in front of me to calculate that, but nonetheless, great job by shooting for the whole tournament, but just not today. Is another smoked layup from Polanowski, but a nice play by Reed to at least put it in the basket afterwards.
Yeah, Reed gets the end one, trying to start a comeback, one that LT's been waiting on for this entire second half. And Reed's been really big for the Lions, 12 points now. He comes off the bench, can't hit the free throw, but a scramble for it. LT nearly got the ball back. But him and Polanowski have combined for 28 of the team's 36. And it appears that Coach Sloan might be waving the white flag and out of bounds. And here comes the bench for the Lions. This might all but seal it for Rolling Meadows. A standing ovation for the Lyons Township crowd, but also clapping on the other end as Rolling Meadows might have just sealed their championship trophy. Wow, a shocking move as there's still 2:40 to go. Now Miletic, dribble drive. And a timeout is called. Subs coming in for Rolling Meadows. That's Repack and Duffer.
Also coming in a few more. But now that we can say that officially Rolling Meadows is going to walk away with the championship, barring Lyons Township bench turning into 5 Steph Currys and hitting 3 after 3, this is going to be the second championship in history for Rolling Meadows.
Yeah, you know, all-time in the Tosh, they were only 14 and 15 coming into this tournament, but it's going to be a solid 5-0 here. And Coach Kadovich will get to hoist a championship trophy barring disaster. Number 23, Zach DeLuca, is also in for the Mustangs. Christie remains out there with 24 points to match his number. Trying to add to that total. Gets in the lane. And now up to 26 after that floater. Cam Christie putting on a show once again. Under 2 minutes to play here.
Possibly trying to get that Player of the Tournament award over Connor May of Palatine, who was also splendid throughout the course of his 4 days of playing.
2 points for Dylan Nelson of the Lions, and 2 more subs coming on for Rolling Meadows. Number 3, Nasir Castle, and number 11, Jaden Warrener. As the bench will come on for Rolling Meadows entirely. Cam Christie takes a seat. His final total will be 26 points.
Both these teams looking for state title pushes.
Definitely, these two teams, even though the Lions are going to fall short here today, still a terrific tournament, and this will have future implications as they, beating St. Ignatius, a top 10 team in state, they definitely seem poised to make a deep run in state and compete for the conference as well, the West Suburban Silver.
Definitely, and as the 48th annual Jack Tosh Holiday Classic comes to a close here in the next minute and 5 seconds, we have some Jack Tosh trivia for you fans out there. Comment down below, and if you think you can get this one. Who was the tournament tourney MVP and journeyman in the NBA who played for 14 years? He was one of Coach K's first ever one-and-done players, meaning he only played for 1 year and then declared for the NBA draft. It will be declared to you following the conclusion of this game.
Castle with it, defended by Nick Taylor, a 6'7" junior for the Lions. Number 1, Ethan Little, and number 2, Reggie Rogers. Also in for Rolling Meadows. DeLuca with it. Gets a screen. Now Little, pressured. Final 30 seconds here. Also want to mention Joey Freiberger in for the Mustangs, as here LT running the break. Nick Taylor lays it in for 2, so the Lions Liam Taylor, excuse me, my mistake. Final seconds here. They're going to dribble it out. Liam Taylor lays it in for 2, but that's it. Rolling Meadows are champions here at York High School. An impressive performance on the biggest stage of them all. They're coming home with a trophy. Final score 56-42. We're going to hear from Coach Katovich and Cam Christie momentarily. But wow, an impressive performance as Rolling Meadows continues to steamroll their competition here as of late. A Lions team that came in extremely confident and extremely dangerous. You mentioned, Josh, most people that we talked to said that this would be a very even matchup, but just Rolling Meadows flexing their dominance as LT just could not seem to buy a bucket there, especially in the second half. They come away with the 14-point win in the championship.
Definitely great job by Rolling Meadows, just all around wonderful performance as they get hype over there on their bench for winning the Jack Tosh Holiday Classic. And to answer all of your questions about who that player was, it's Corey Maggette. Fenwick, 1995 tournament MVP, went on to Duke. Shout out to my dad, Glenn Melvin. Gave me that little tidbit of trivia, pretty interesting there. And as we said, 1 for 16 from 3 for Lyons Township, 6.25%. That's just going to be, that's the beginning and the end of it right there, folks. And that's why Rolling Meadows is able to walk away with the championship here. And we'll give it to Rob Wagner as he's going to honor these two teams on their wonderful performances so far the week after Christmas at York High School.
And a huge thank you to Vince Doran, Rob Wagner, and Dave Tosh, all a part of York High School, to help put together such an amazing tournament.
Andrew Ayeni of St. Patrick's, number 32, getting his award for player for all tournament.
York's very own AJ Levine, the next up to receive an award for an all-tournament player. Very proud of him.
Led the Dukes to a 3-1 record here in the Tosh. Only loss being a 10.1 to Bolingbrook.
Naperville North High School, Luke Williams.
Luke Williams winning his second, won an award last year for all-tournament team, now on this year's edition as well.
From Glenbrook South High School, Nick Taylor.
Nick Taylor of Glenbrook South. Very good tournament from him as well.
Helped lead the closest game to Rolling Meadows here. Stefan Sisic, the big man inside from Riverside Brookfield, going to take home an award as well.
From Palatine High School, Connor May.
Also winning it was Connor May of Palatine. Put on a wonderful performance in that first game, 36 points. 26 in the next one. And then yesterday also put up 28. Then Matas Castillo of Lamont hit a game-tying 3-ball last night to send in overtime against Glenbrook South. Unfortunately, Lamont not able to pull it out, though.
From St. Ignatius High School, Richard Barron.
Richard Barron receiving honors, as you saw in that first game.
Ignatius High School,
Jackson Katecki as well from the Wolfpack.
From Bolingbrook High School, Mackay Cooper.
Mackay Cooper and Arias Hull from Bolingbrook.
Aries Hull. From Lyons Township, Graham Smith.
Graham Smith of Lyons Township getting an award here. The tight end inside, showing his strength throughout the course of the tournament, led that team in rebounding and led them to be the best rebounding team in the tournament.
High School, Jackson Nego.
Jackson Yago also getting it. So integral to this Lyons Township success this year after losing Tavari Johnson. And he's really stepped up, unfortunately, for him and Nick Polanowski. Not the best of nights tonight, but they are looking forward to the end of February and the beginning of March when state playoffs begin. And the rest of conference play they're going to go on. And Nick Polanowski here with his award.
And now from Rolling Meadows High School, Mark Nikolich Wilson.
Mark Nikolich Wilson winning an award here for player of the tournament as well. Or not player of the tournament, but all tournament team.
From Rolling Meadows, Svet Satirov.
Svet Satirov also winning all tournament honors. Lethal in the first few games offensively. This one did pretty well, did all right with 3 points, but defensively was effective. And the player of the tournament award is going to go to Cam Christie. All tournament team as well.
Your 48th annual Jack Tosh Tournament all tournament team.
Three players from either of the teams that just played in this game. Nice picture here for all of them.
One more round of applause for our all tournament team. Now Rob Wagner and Dave Tosh will present the second place plaque to the Lyons Township Lions.
Lions tip Rob Wagner and Dave Tosh currently presenting the second place trophy for the second straight season to the Lyons Township Lions. They're going to take a picture under the west side basket here. You know, as Gavin Connolly brought up earlier, a wonderful thanks to Rob Wagner. It's been awesome throughout the course of the Tosh. And Dave Tosh also here in memory of Meadows. And they send Foster Obagna, the defensive stud, out to receive this honor. I'm going to go over here to the left for a photo as well. It's an absolute wonderful job by everyone at the Tosh. And all the people running it, thank you again to Vince Dorn, Rob Wagner, Dave Tosh, and all the people behind the scenes. I'd also like to give thanks to pretty much everyone who helped out. Sitting right to my right, freshman Luca DeSanto, as well as TJ Silkaitis, Jack Borchers, of course, technical director and leader on the technical side here. Did a wonderful job all tournament. Gavin Connolly, Jacob Ferraro, Charlie Specht, Brian Grant, Luke Van Hoeklem, Lily Rennick, Madison Peck, Nick Gergoni, Johnny S., Catherine Casinoli, and many others I will try and remember here as I'm sitting here waiting for Gavin Connolly to take it away for an interview. Going to be with, at the very least, Coach Katovich, Cam Christie, hopefully a few others joining in. We'd also like to thank our stats guys here at the tournament. They do so much. They're here so much. They have to pay attention every game, be so specific. Oh, and the biggest guy. We have to thank Bobby Hessling coming back as manager so far for all of our streams. Thank you to Bobby Hessling. Others who helped out with streams. If you helped out with the stream and I didn't mention your name, I do apologize. But we thank you and appreciate you for helping us out. Johnny S., pretty sure I didn't mention his name. Thank you. Christian. Yes, Christian. Thank you. Shep. Jack Lonigan. And here we have Gavin Connolly. Take it away, Gavin.
I'm here with Mark Nikolic Wilson and Cam Christie, both of the victorious Rolling Meadows Mustangs. Mark, I'll start with you. You were an all-tournament player this year. What does this award mean to you?
It means a lot, especially being able to come back and win a tournament. We got third in last year, you know, just to get it done.
Definitely, and you've been on this varsity team for 3 years now. How does this team compare to the others, and do you think this team is special as you guys were finally able to win a Jack Tosh this year?
I definitely think so, especially, I mean, we've been playing together for years since we were little kids, so it's, you know, this is really this year we've been looking forward to.
Definitely. Well, congrats on the award and congrats on a great tournament.
Thank you.
Cam, you're up next. This tournament is 5 games in 5 days, but you were able to put up an impressive performance in all 5. How were you able to do that?
Yeah, no, it's a really hard tournament, you know. Play 5 games in 5 days, you know, you have a lot of great teams, you know, a bunch of different styles, so, you know, you got to be able to push the ball and stuff like that, so it's really tiring. But, you know, as you get to the 3rd, 4th, 5th day, it's just all about mental, you know, you got to be able to overcome the tiredness, the pain, you know, because the outcome is always greater, so it was good.
Definitely, and again, speaking of mental, this was definitely the best defense that you played against yet, but you were able to rise above that, score over 20 points. Talk us through your performance today. How are you able to rise above knowing that LT is such a great defense?
You know, they do a great job over there. You know, the past few games, you know, they've only been holding teams at 35 points per game, which is really good. So, but, you know, I'm confident in my abilities. You know, I feel really good with the team that we have. You know, I feel like we're going to be able to get each other open no matter who we're playing. So, you know, I knew as long as we stick to each other and trust each other, we're going to be in good shape.
Definitely. Well, congrats on a fantastic tournament camp. Thank you for your time. In just a few moments, we will have Coach Kadovich joining us for another post-game interview. I'm Gavin Connolly with YSN, and here is Coach Kadovich right on cue. Coach, you know, Cam Christie's the star of this team, but really in the second half, the depth of your team shown through Ian Miletich and Svet Sodorov making plays. How impressed are you by the depth and how many playmakers you have in this starting lineup?
Yeah, it's such a great group. They're very unselfish. They share the ball well. They find the guy that's open. They usually make the right decision. They don't care about who's got what for points. They just want to win. And I thought tonight was really a great example of how our team is. They share the ball and they root for each other.
For sure. And you had 3 all-tournament players in your starting 5, but you guys won the championship, and that was your biggest goal. How proud of you are this team, and what does this championship mean to you?
Well, I'm just so happy for our kids. If you think about it, we started with Montini, then we played 4 ranked teams in a row. We went St. Pat's, Glenbrook South, Bolingbrook, and then obviously an undefeated Lyons team. And our guys deserve it because they work so incredibly hard. They watch film, they do all the little things right. They're there every day to get better, and so couldn't be more happy for the guys. It's all about them.
Well, congrats on the win. It was a very impressive showing from your team.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Of course. With York Sports Network, I am Gavin Connolly, sending it back to Josh for a final message on this year's tournament.
And as we wrap up the 2022 Jack Tosh Holiday Classic, there are a handful of people we'd like to thank. The students that helped with the York Sports Network over the past few days: Connor Choi, TJ Silkaitis, Charlie Specht, Brian Grant, Luca DeSanto, Christian McQuaid, Catherine Casanoli, Madison Peck, Blake Shoemaker, Matt Ahern, Jacob Ferraro, Nick Gregoria, Mallory War, Johnny Scalzidi, and Luke Van Hoeklum. And thank you to Technical Director Jack Borchers. And thanks to the former YSN members who returned and helped out, Gavin Hughes and Ryan Pickle. Special thanks, and a very, very special thanks to Vince Dorn and Mark Tomzak, who helped us out all week. Vince Dorn, basically the man who runs this entire show. Mark Tomzak with all the stats, so you could thank him for all the stats we said and helping all the players and statisticians and managers of every team. Wonderful man who comes out here and helps every year. And a special thanks to Mr. Chambers and Mr. Wagner. They've helped us so much throughout the course of the year, letting us stream all these games. And thank you to Mr. Wagner especially for all the support, as I know a lot of athletic directors who would not be as supportive as he has been towards us. And we'd like to give a special thanks to Mr. Chambers, of course, helping us out and basically getting this program where we want it to be. A special thanks to the coaches and the players who let us interview them. We really appreciate that. We feel like it adds a lot to the streams, and their confidence, respect, and compassion has been really helpful throughout the course of this tournament. And a special thanks to you at home, all the viewers who loved, liked, watched, commented, shared, every one of you who have enjoyed our streams. You guys make it possible, and you guys, special thanks to all of you guys. And then one last thank you to the founder of YSN, Bobby Hessling, who helped out behind the scenes in every live stream, doing the operations for the Jack Tosh and York Sports Network. With that being said, I've been Joshua Melvin, and a special thanks to my co-announcer and co-president Gavin Connolly. Happy New Year's, everyone, and good night.